Rugby League is back.
Drum roll, please.
You're a true Warriors fan.
I have no recollection of that hot take.
We don't all have to agree.
It's good to be back.
It's just a really boring thing.
Oh, no.
Start winning some games.
I think there'll be a lot of changes to the team.
I've got them making the 8 for mine.
Let's go. Hello, folks, and welcome back to the Advantage Line TM's Rugby League Betting Podcast. My name is Cal Tiley. That was the dulcet tones of Paul Mawate. Paul, you're back.
Yeah.
What happened last week?
Crook is a dog. Fair dinkum. You,
Woof, woof.
you'd be thanking me for not coming into the studio and doing anything last week because I was extremely contagious. Fever, body aches, headaches.
Thank you most weeks for not coming to the
Wow.
studio. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Just
Jeez.
kidding. You are the staple of this show.
Where's the magic gone?
Speaking of magic, Ben Searle joins us live from his Auckland studio. Searle, how are you? Recovered from Magic Round, I hope?
Yeah, mate. It was good to bump into you over there. And I'm sure if Paulie was on that plane, he wouldn't have been sick either. I reckon that was just a tactical play from him. But yeah, how good was Magic Round, mate? That is one of the great sporting weekends every year. It's must get their stuff. If you haven't been, I couldn't recommend it more. Vegas was cool, but Magic Round, I reckon, is way better.
On that, I'm going to throw this to you. Paul, you can sit this one out if you like.
Good.
Feel free to comment. Maybe a hot take, but Magic Round is better than Vegas.
Way better. I agree. I obviously love Vegas for what it is. It's a one-off chance to go to the entertainment capital of the world and have some fun. But as a rugby league fan, Magic Round is so much better. Like just driving through Brisbane, there's banners up everywhere. That's a state that loves their rugby league. So taking 9 games of footy there, it's just a recipe for great times. The Women's State of Origin delivered, then all the NRL games. It's just people in kit, so many vintage jerseys. Everyone just gets around each other. There's so much banter. There's hardly any problems. It's literally rugby league heaven. Caxton Street is perfect for it. And yeah, Vegas was mad, but you got swallowed up in Vegas, right? Whereas Magic Round, it's just all about footy.
Out in your case, but
yeah. Yes, I got spat out, and I got spat out at Magic Round too, but nowhere near as bad. You feel more like you're on home turf as well. Australia is so much easier to navigate than crazy as Vegas. So no, it's unreal.
Quick little story. I actually saved Searle's weekend, believe it or not. Listen, we saw a very stressed Searle running up and down Caxton Street. He was supposed to be doing Voxies for the Warriors, I believe.
No microphone?
And the microphone's no good. So
I tell you what, I shot some content prior to that would have been great with a bloke in a bar with some people, and we thought the microphones were working, and it turns out they were not. Luckily, I bumped into Carl. It was actually outside Kittens, but that was an honest mistake.
It was.
Just that before you went inside Kittens.
No, that was an honest mistake. I actually had one of the Warriors GMs bring it up yesterday that they saw us having a conversation outside Kittens at midday on game day, but that was completely unrelated. We were doing work stuff, and Carl 100% saved my trip. I was sent over there with one job, and I almost didn't do it. So cheers to Carl.
Always happy to help. We did actually have to take 6 shelter in the veranda of Kittens when the heavens opened up.
Of course you did.
And we didn't go outside. We didn't see anything. Nothing untoward. It was just... while we're on Magic Round, we're going to start the show. I should say no Teddy today. No. He is unavailable.
He'll be back next week.
He will be.
Yeah.
Stronger than ever. More opinions than ever, I would imagine. I do want to start the show by tying it back to Magic Round again. And while we were there, we did a little Voxy, we did a little spelling bee with some punters. I'm gonna put you guys to the test, the same test that I gave to punters. And there was one guy, I want to shout out this one bloke. I'll never see him again in my life, but he got 5 from 5.
No way.
Absolute scenes. His mate was in all sorts, eating a kebab and some chips. I tried a chip; it was pretty good. But this guy, good content. Anyway. We'll go one for one here. These are the questions the names of players that I want you to spell.
Hmm.
Surly, we'll start with you. Ryan Pappenhausen.
Do I have to spell the Ryan bit or just straight last names?
We'll presume you can spell Ryan.
Yeah, I can. Although some people like to go Ian, which makes things really confusing. But Pappenhyzn.
Hang on, mate. We've got one of those, don't we?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Is it not HY?
No. Oh,
No.
sorry. Not that one.
I'll take that then, though.
HUYZN.
Oh, forgot the U.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Paul.
Oh. Well, I know Pappenhausen, so I would have got that right.
We're not doing
well,
Jake Trebojevic.
yeah, I don't know this guy. So Jake. Okay, good start. Good start. T. R.
Yep.
O.
No.
You missed the B, mate.
J.
No. TRB.
Oh, jeez.
All vowels. It's a real tricky one, that one. TRBOJ.
What do you mean there's a lack of vowels there?
VIC. Oh, what did I say? Too many vowels.
Too
Did
many
someone
vowels.
get this all right? It's hard in your head too. Like if you could write it down, you'd go way better. But
Yep. I'll do one more each because we don't want to.
when's Nawangani coming?
Well, we can do that now.
Nawasa.
Do you know what? No, Nawakanitawasi. Do you know what? I spent all of Friday afternoon learning how to pronounce this name, learning how to spell it. And then the first bloke I asked to spell it, I couldn't get it out. I froze, lights, everything. But I got there in the end. Nawakanitawasi.
Now, has Surly just brought his name up on the laptop in front of him?
No, I actually haven't. But I know the start, which is meant to be the hardest bit.
Yes.
And I'll probably get it wrong. But I know it's NAWAQ. A.
Yep.
NITAWASI.
No, ASE.
Oh!
You did the hard part.
Nawakanitawasi.
One more for you, Paul. KL Iro.
KL.
Nice.
And then Ido. IRO.
Nice work. All right. That was fun. You guys are just as bad as the punters. Betting.
Oh, yeah.
No big winners come through this week. I would have thought Magic Round would have been magic for punters, but it was not.
No.
What about how did we go personally? Surly?
I had Sharks versus Para, either team try bet by 12.5. Had the same for the Tigers, Dragons, then had Warriors 1-12 and Moana 1-12 in a multi, which was nice. Unfortunately, though, only had $5 on it, which was really cowardly of myself. But that was a nice, juicy payday to land back to late on my Sunday night as I was riding Moana home on that one. I had a Magic multi running, Fox into Nawanganitawasi and Leka. Unfortunately, fell short on Leka, and I had a really bad beat, lads. I had CHT first, second, or third into Jackson Purdue and Lukey Met anytime. Those three combined for 3 of the first 4 tries, but CHT scored 4th.
The 4th. Yes.
That was juicy, and I was celebrating. I forgot about the Ed Cossey try in the mixer as well. I was so excited, disconnected from the Suncorp Wi-Fi so I could jump on the TAB app, and then I saw the slip, and yeah, I was heartbroken.
That's tough. I had an up and down weekend. I had the Fox anytime. I was pretty happy with that result. Just took the Warriors head to head. Didn't want to get too outrageous. Just wanted to watch the game, celebrate my team winning, and celebrate a bet winning. Nervous last 20 minutes there.
Yeah.
Tigers Dragons. I had Val Holmes to score anytime. Sonia Taruva to score anytime. Both cashed in the first 12 or 15 minutes. And Lockie Galvin anytime. I'm done with Galvin. Yeah.
Bonus back though.
Yes. He had his opportunities. No good there. How'd you go, Paulie?
I really struggled. My closest bet was Friday night, try time bingo, 1-7. The two games on Friday night started off very, very nicely. Josh Addo-Carr scored, Dylan Brown scored, KL Edel scored, Samuel Stonestreet scored. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 7 players that I needed, all scoring in the first game. And then the second game, the Roosters and the Dolphins, where 62 points were scored in total at the hammer. So there we go. The number 1 jersey gets ticked off. Herbie Farnworth's got Cody Nikorima scored. There's number 7 ticked off. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the number 3 there, number 3 to score. So just missed by 1. That was the closest I got.
That's tough. Yeah, okay. How do we go on the podcast last week?
Blake did very nicely. Yeah. So Blake, he had the Warriors head-to-head for his best bet. Mm-hmm. He had the Fox to score a try. His same game multi. Roosters -1.5. Tupou to score a try and Teddy to score a try. No good. And then his anything bet, Raiders +10.5. The New South Wales women to win.
That was a late inclusion.
And the Knights to win.
Gross.
That was at $6.23. He was up $205.75 for the week, and he's up $945.75 for the season. We move on to Carl. He had Newcastle to score under 20.5. Their opposition scored under 20.5.
To be fair, they they scored 30.
They did.
Not far off under 20.5.
No, that's
that's their whole season total combined so far in the one game.
My takes about Newcastle didn't sit well after last week's pod, but I still maintain they are rubbish. They stink. They were playing a reserve grade side.
Well, that was a losing bet for Carl.
Yes.
He also had the Fox to score a try. That was good. His same game multi, Storm to win, Coates to score a try, and the Storm to have over 2.5 tries in the first half. That was no good. And then he had the Knights to be the lowest scoring team for the round at $11.50. I think their opposition may have been the...
They were, yeah. Come kickoff, that was paying like $19.
It drifted.
Yeah.
Okay. Teddy, he had the Titans +12.5. No good. Herbie Farnworth at $2.55 to score a try. Nice. He had over 46.5 in the Sharks game. Stonestreet to score and KL Edel to score. So unfortunately, there weren't enough points in that game. By half a point, he missed his same game multi, which was paying $5.52. And then as anything bet, Dolphins to win, Dragons to win, Panthers +4.5. I think the Dolphins let him down there.
And the Dragons.
Oh, and the Dragons, yeah. Okay,
what was I for the week?
You were down 50 for the week, up 474 for the season.
Down 50, even though I got my...
Addo-Carr, that's right.
What was he paying?
$2.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah, get out of it. Okay, my best bet, Rabbitohs. Herbie.
Was that your best bet?
I like that from you.
They were the worst team. Herbie Farnworth to score a try. Yep, nice. I had Edel to score a try, Sharks to win, and Bailey Simonson to score a try, unfortunately. Wrong winger. And then my anytime bet was the Friday night try bingo, 1-7 at $4.75. Unfortunately, no number 3 jerseys dotted down in those 2 Friday night games.
Tough week. Shout out, Blake.
Yeah, well done, Blake.
Let's move on to the good, the bad, the ugly. I'm going to start this week. I'm going to start with my good and just Caxton Street. Caxton Street is a vibe. I've been there once before. It's my first time going on Magic Round. It's incredibly well set up. I love how they just block it off. There's pubs everywhere. You start the walk from the top to the bottom, straight into Suncorp. It was just cool. It was cool. A lot of cool people. Everyone was up and about. A billion different jumpers. That's the one thing I like. Another thing I liked versus Vegas. Like Vegas, it was Warriors jumpers everywhere, which was cool. Really cool to see the support. But like, I interviewed a bloke who was wearing a game-worn Papua New Guinea
the Kumals
match top from the 1980s.
Oh, sensational.
And he was a small bloke. and this thing was small. So I don't know what player, if it's been shrunk in the wash or what, but yeah, I just loved it. So cool. Must go back.
It really is like a footy fan's heaven, basically. Like you said, you find little gems like that. And I just can't get over how there's no trouble because everyone's just there for the footy and a good time. And you can give each other stick about how crap your team is or whatever. And everyone just laughs it off and gets around it. And you see the same bloke wearing 3 different jerseys of teams across the 3 different days because it's your chance to get around some teams you normally wouldn't watch and get stuck into some fan bases. I was in the Warriors fan zone. There were people there in Bunnies kit, all sorts chanting for up the wires. It's just like it's such a feel-good environment. So yeah, I have to agree with that. My good was just the Warriors win in general. Again, the biggest thing for me is we keep getting dished up these scenarios in games that you can't practice for, that other teams have fallen apart in, and we still manage to hold on. Like you look at the Storm, no Harry Grant, they lose again. You look at our outs. We've got so many players out. We had Ali go out late. You had Kossi playing with a broken collarbone. Rocco Berry, the poor bloke, going off again mid-game. Capewell goes out into the centres. Lecker playing 80 minutes for the first time. Actually saw him yesterday. He's still knackered from that. He said the toll it took on his body. Playing first grade at 19 years old. He was involved in the physical stuff. Like, to still find a way to win that game. And I see some people saying how, oh, the Warriors, they still can't win convincingly. Like, that is crazy. The amount of stuff we were dished up in that game to hold on and get the dub. You just got to be so proud of the lads. And when you look at the top 8 at the moment, I think we've played 5 of the teams in the top 8. We're obviously the 6th team, so there's only 2 teams in finals footy contention at the moment we haven't played. You can't say our draw's been easy. To do what we've done with the players we've had out, I reckon it's just outstanding. And then you got the Harold Matts winning it and New South Wales Cup, top of the ladder too. Like, go the Warriors, man.
We would have lost that game last year.
Yes. Yes, we would have.
I keep thinking about Teddy talk last year about, we were talking about, the Warriors lost 9 games
under
within a score.
Yeah.
And he kept saying that will flip. It always flips. And we've had a few of those games already this year where
they've gone our way.
They've gone our way.
Yeah, when you think about it, we've had 6 wins. You could say that same statement for 4 of those 6, at least, that we would have lost them in years gone by. And that's a sign of a good team. It might not be pretty all the time. I thought our first half was probably the best half of footy we've played too. Like, our attacking shape was carving them up. That was the best our halves have looked. The layering on our attack looked outstanding. So, yeah, there's still levels for this team to go, but to be sitting in 3rd, given everything we've had to deal with, it's great times.
Yeah.
When Metcalf is running with the ball, that is the best time to have him. His most important play last weekend was the tackle on Murray Tulangi in the corner. But when he's running with the ball, you don't know what's going to happen. He is so good at analysing the defence in front of him and almost always making the right decision.
Yeah, and shout out to Kurt Capewell too. Like, had to play in the centres again. That line he ran for that Luke Metcalf try was outstanding as well. But yeah, I reckon, like, yes, he's high energy, high work rate, misses a few tackles and things like that. But what he brings to the team as well, those effort plays that he makes, it's follow me type of stuff. And yeah, he's had to play centre for way more minutes than he would have liked to this year. And they went at him hard. And he came up with a few big plays there too.
He's our Mr. Fix-It.
3 weeks in a row now, he's made massive line breaks on attack.
Yeah.
That have created tries.
Yeah. It wasn't all pretty. I mean, they did expose us down that right-hand side.
That last 20 minutes
It was just like, oh, no, please no. But there were a whole heap of positives to take out of that game as opposed to negatives. Yep. So, obviously, Webby will work on a few things this weekend. During the week for this weekend. But the good for me was Magic Round as a whole.
Nice. The bad, I've got a couple of bads. No, I've got one bad. The Broncos' performance in Magic Round. They're at home. It's their crowd. Playing bottom of the table Panthers.
That
you're supposed to be
there's a little
Well, no,
sort of mark
they
there
were the
next
bottom of the
to-
table.
No, I'm not saying they weren't the bottom of the table. I'm saying these guys are the Panthers.
Yeah, but they've been playing terrible all season. They've won what, one game, 2 games maybe, 2 games up before that game, before the Broncos. And I think your asterisk is Nathan Cleary,
Right.
maybe Isaiah Yeo,
He
like the players. But the Broncos laid an egg in front of their home fans. And, I mean, Cleary put on a clinic. Panthers played Panther footy, but the Broncos... Teddy and I we've got them outside the 8. I think this could be it.
Who, the Broncos?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
It's interesting, right? The Dolphins and the Broncos were the 2 away sides. They both play at Suncorp, and they both lost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's
My
an extra home game for these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you look at the Broncos, I think they've played 9 games, and 6 of them have been at Suncorp. So whoever does the draw seems to look after them every year. My bad was Jaden Sewer knock on off the knee into a dream buller length of the field try. If he doesn't get called up for that at the team bonding session and made to pay, something's wrong.
Hey, I saw a good someone, as soon as that happened, I said to some of the guys we were with, I was like, that will be a meme at about 30 minutes. And the first one I saw, it must have been the next morning, was just simple, the last leg of my multi. And he's running to score the try.
You often hear punters refer to certain occasions as 12-point tries. That was you cannot get closer to an exact definition of a 12-point try. He was over the line. I don't know what he was doing. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, that's crazy. His thigh came in. Flano must have been fuming.
Oh, yeah.
I tell you what, I think someone used the force. It was May the 4th on the weekend. Someone used the force and just dragged that ball out of his hands. Buller picks it up and goes the length of the field. Yeah, it's uncanny. Uncanny.
That game, that high-scoring game, but that was a tough watch, the end of that second half.
Do you think it was off the back of the Warriors game too? Everything almost felt anticlimactic. Like more than half the crowd left too. So it seemed like a really weird game to watch.
Yeah, it was. And it was wet.
Yeah.
You're bad, Paul?
You two hiding under the covers outside kittens.
I don't know where Surly went. Surly was sitting down with his lovely wife on the corner of the street when the heavens opened up. And we ran into under shelter at the kittens, outside still. But Surly disappeared. He was right next door to the kittens' entry, so I'm not entirely sure where he went. But
hey, those allegations. Nah, I went the opposite direction, mate. I was proper rattled then. You literally saved my life. So grateful.
All right, the ugly. Shout out to the people sitting behind us at Magic Round. There's some older Cowboys fans. A group of four of them. We get in there. Cowboys run out into the field. Everyone's cheering. Cool. Warriors turn to run out. We stand up. Phones out. Kind of want to record this. Cool moment. Want to watch my team run out.
Sit down.
Sit down. Get down. I don't like it. I'm like, yeah, we'll sit down. I just want to watch my team. It's my team too. I'm like, these people 50, 60 plus. Not plus, probably about 50 or 60. Like, you can stand up too. We're not inside. We're not at the ballet. This is rugby league at Suncorp. I can stand up and cheer my team. And then 20 minutes into the game, Cowboys on attack. Can't remember the play. Warriors stop it. And they're like, oh, that was pretty good. Good that we could see that. Yeah, we couldn't see them when they ran out because these idiots in front of us were standing up. And I was just like, wow. Yeah. The boys copped a spray. But, as soon as that rain started, they left. So that was fine.
Oh, fair weather fans. The definition of.
Yep.
That's no good.
So shout out to them. That was my ugly.
Yeah, fair enough too. My ugly was the Suncorp Stadium concourse. Once there's been rain on it, I saw at least 10 people stack it. That thing is so slippery, man. And there's like downhill sections of it too to go between the different levels. And people were falling over left, right, and center. And you have a bit of a chuckle to yourself in your head, and then you almost stack it too, and it brings you down to earth. So Suncorp, they need to add a little bit extra grip in there, especially when you factor in how many tins had probably been drunk pre-game. It makes for a dangerous scenario. So that was my ugly, is watching people just stack it.
Few jandals as well. I saw a guy, he went arse over tit at Kittens in jandals. He came in hot.
There's a lot of action going on around this Kittens place. So yeah.
Oh, no, this was in the stadium, mate, in the stadium. I'm sure a few people fell over at Kittens too, though.
You're ugly?
Oh, well, I was going to say a couple of the decisions in the Wars game. The one where Murray Tolangi had his foot in the air when he caught the ball, then placed his foot behind the try line to get the 20-metre restart, 7 tackle set. And also, how does Ruben Cotter not get 10 in the bin for that shot? That was just ridiculous. But I think really ugly with the Bunnies. I know they've got a whole heap of injuries and their halves were depleted, but you only put 4 points on one of the worst teams in the NRL and let them put 30 points on you.
It was raining. They're fine.
It was ugly.
I've just thought of another good, if we have time as well, really quickly. Yeah. So I saw what I thought was an absolute idiot standing outside the Caxton in a horse head and overalls. And I thought, who is this bloke? Next thing you know, they yell out, Surly. So I went over there to see who it was. It was the great Marty Banks. He was there on his stag do. It was day 3 or 4, and they were off to Eagle Farm before the footy. So they dressed him as a horse. So I walk into the bar, meet up with his mates, first time meeting them. They put me on the spot. They say, Surly, give us a tip for a horse. Now, I'm a little bit worried, but luckily one of the lads had tipped me into one earlier. He reckons it was a good shot. It was paying $4.80. I told them. They put an amount of money on it that I did not expect them to. It was a lot more than what I thought it would be. And they said, you are not leaving the Caxton until this thing runs. And the rest of the fate of your day relies on how this horse goes. Now, I still had the whole arvo of work and Warriors game day ahead of me. And this thing missed the jump by a country mile. And everyone was looking at me. Then it screamed home and won. And they were chanting in the Caxton. It was probably one of the greatest moments of my life.
That is elite. That is elite.
Sensational. Yeah. Love it.
How good. Magic Round. Love it.
So good.
Alrighty. NRL grid for Tuesday, May the 6th. Pause the pod.
Pause it.
Go find the grid. Come back and compare your scores. I do want to say I did this nice and early yesterday morning. When I completed mine, I was number 1.
Nice. I did today's one and then realized it's yesterday, so then went back and did it this morning as well, luckily.
When I was number 1, I was the only person to not have be scored in the hundreds. So I'd imagine, because it was so early, everyone who were terrible would, anyway.
One more good thing.
I'd be surprised if I'm number 1, is what I'm trying to say here.
Well, I'm guaranteed a podium finish, so I'm happy.
You are. Across the top, Felitti Mateo teammate has played for the Knights and Wade McKinnon teammate. Down the left has played for the Eels, 200-plus games, played for the Warriors. This is Warriors heavy.
The Wars should be part of every Tuesday NRL grid so that we can have a really good go.
Yes. I'll lead off. Felitti Mateo teammate, played for the Eels, T-Rex, Tony Williams, 2.19. Knights, Eels, this one killed me. Blake Green, 11.76.
Oh.
Yeah. And Wade McKinnon, teammate, played for the Eels, Ben Smith, 2.5. Who's next?
Me?
Off you go, Paulie.
Well, I included this guy because I saw Searley have a chat with him on Magic Round.
Oh, yeah.
Justin Horo,
Oh, yeah.
1.18. Zeb Tyre, 6.06. I thought Zeb might have been a wee bit shorter than that. And then a Brain, Henry Perenara, 0.96, a favourite of Teddy's.
Yeah, well played. I did not have Justin Horo, and I probably should have, now you mentioned it. Feleti Mateo teammate Eels, Krishnan Inu, 1.45.
I
lucky
would
enough
have thought it'd be heaps more.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was lucky enough to get a wizard on this next one. Knights into Para. Matty Arthur's debuted, what was it, last week, the week before? 0.24 points. Great scenes.
Wow.
And then Wade McKinnon teammate Eels, the great Michael Witt, 1.66.
Surly's off to a flying start.
Huge.
Feleti Mateo teammate, 200 plus games, the beast, Manu Vetuve, 2.48. Knights, 200 plus games, Kurt Gidley, 2.73. And Wade McKinnon teammate, 200 plus games, Simon Mannering, 3.76.
Nathan Kalis, Brain, 1.89. Tariq Sims, one of Carl's favourites,
My guy.
3.40. And Ashley Harrison, 2.87.
I had Sean Johnson, 3.69. I Jared Mullen, Brain, 2.17.
Oh, that's who I was thinking. I couldn't think of the guy. I couldn't think of his name. His face.
Yeah. And then I also had Simon Mannering. So I love picking Warriors players. So this next one's great for me too.
So Feleti Mateo teammate, Warrior, Isaac John, Brain, 0.35. Knights, Warrior. I think I used them last week. Sio Tongi Liggy.
Liggy Liggy.
0.26. Wizard.
How good was he in Toyota Cup?
Yeah, amazing.
Freak.
Amazing. He only played 3 NRL games, 1 for the Warriors, 2 for the Knights.
Yeah, wow.
And Wade McKinnon teammate, Warrior, Kevin Locke, 1.27.
Joe Nullival, 2.08. Todd Lowry, 12.51. PJ Marsh, 1.78.
Wow, that's rough on the Todd. I can't work out the scoring on some of these, eh? You'd think they're quite niche players.
You've got to go really early or really late.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. Warriors, Feleti Mateo teammate, the great Joel Moon, 0.66. Warriors Knights, Jesse Royal, 3.17. And Wade McKinnon teammate at the Warriors, got a brain, Patrick Arvan, 0.61.
Paddy Arvan. They're good. Totals. I had 27.3.
32.7.
17.4.
Cheapers.
I was first for a period there. Well done. Well done. Alrighty, head to head. Last week, Teddy went 4 from 8, but I will call out and give Teddy a shout. Oh, where are we going for lunch?
No, this is not today.
Okay. I will call out and give Teddy a shout out. He picked the Panthers over the Broncos, and he said morals. So well done to Teddy. Blake, he went 6 from 8, and he got the first 6 straight. Wow. So well done to Blake there. Missed out on the Broncos and the Storm. And I was 4 from 8. Unfortunately, Dolphins missed out. Bunnies were hard done by. And then Broncos.
Bunnies were hard done.
So this week, head to head, please. We'll go Paul, Surly, myself. Eels $1.73. Dolphins $2.10.
Eels.
Dolphins. Knights $1.48. Titans $2.65.
Jeepers creepers. Crikey.
This is a game, like, I know you want to watch every game, but you probably don't need to watch this one.
I'm going to go Titans.
Titans haven't won there since 2016, so I'm going Knights.
No, Titans. I'm not going to do it.
This
I'm
is
not
a
gonna do
poo slinger, eh? My God.
Rabbits, $3.75. Broncos, $1.28.
Bronx.
Yeah, I'm going to go Broncos too, but they've only won 2 of their last 9 at a core. They don't like it there.
I'm going to go the Bunnies. With Latrell and Humphreys back, they will be a much better team. Raiders, $1.78. Dogs, $2.05. Top of the table clash, this one, in Canberra.
I'm going to go Raiders at home.
Yeah, Raiders for me.
Raiders for me too. Dragons, $2.15. The Warriors, $1.70. This last night must have been before teams were named. It was the other way around. Warriors were outsiders.
Well, I'm going Waz.
Yeah, I'm going Waz too. Stats don't like it, but I'm going Warriors.
Well, they hate going to the gong.
But they've won two. The two that they have won is 2 in their last 3, right?
Yeah, but we've lost 11 from 13 there, and I think we've only won 3 games there in our history.
Total.
11 from 13, but we've won 2 of the last 3. That's what you need to know.
Yeah, there we go. Warriors, 13 plus.
Warriors. Cowboys, $2.35.
Oh.
Panthers, $1.60. Cowboys at home. Are the Panthers back?
Yes. Penrith.
Penrith have only won 1 of their last 4 up there. Cows have a good record against them, but To'o and Kenny back, so I'm going to go Panthers.
Cowboys. Storm, $1.20. Tigers, $4.60.
Sorry, Blake. Storm.
Yeah, Storm.
Storm. And Seagulls, $1.68. Sharks, $2.20. Manly's home game.
I'm starting to lose faith in the Sea Eagles, but I'll stick with them one more week. Sea Eagles.
It's interesting you mentioned Manly home game. So Sharks have won 5 of their last 6 against Manly, and the Manly haven't beaten them at Four Pines since 2019 as well, which is pretty crazy because they're normally so strong at home. But with all that aside, I'm still going to go Manly.
Yeah, I'm going to take Manly too. I don't know, there's something about the Sharks that just aren't quite convincing.
Yeah.
They're winning, but they're not. They're winning ugly. Oh, wow. Yeah. They always win ugly, I suppose. Anyway, those are the games. Let's do, actually, before we move on, just in this segment, give me a Warriors score prediction. We've all tipped the Warriors. Give me a score prediction.
I'm going to go Warriors 26, Dragons 12.
I'm thinking I was going to go 30-16 to the Warriors.
I've gone 32-12 Warriors.
So we're all kind of in that same region.
Yeah.
Yep. So take a 8-4 scoreline, punters.
To the Dragons.
No.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. All righty. Deep dive games. Thursday night, Eels $1.73, Dolphins $2.10. The line is 2.5. Total 49.5. There are some try-scoring freaks in this game, and I think you're getting some good value here. Addo Carr is $1.70 anytime. He's scored 6 tries in his last 4 games. And the Hammer, $1.91, has scored 7 in his last 5. This is normally where I'd throw to Teddy for the stats.
Yes.
He's not here. I haven't done any prep for stats. Surely, have you got any stats?
I've only got 1, and this is the first time the Finns will play at CommBank. So there you go.
Okay.
They don't travel out of Queensland very often, eh? And of course, they're a new franchise, so you get stats like this all the time. But this is a tough one for me. I was hoping Lomax would be back. The New South Wales supporter in me was hoping he would be, but he's not back quite yet, and he's leaving his Origin run quite late. Parra did lose last week, but I still think they played reasonably well. And like you said, the Fox, he scored doubles in last of his 2 games. I think I've got him as my best bet coming up for the try scorers, but I think he's paying like $3.50 odd for a double in this one, which I think is great odds.
Mitchell Moses is a good player, despite what Teddy says.
No,
he's a pretty good
He's
player.
very good. His kicking game, there's times where you watch it, and normally pre him, they would hand the ball over on the 30. As soon as he's back, they're handing it over on the 10 because he gets them an extra 20 meters. And by the time you do that for 7 or 8 sets in a row, you've saved your team the length of the field, which can save them so much energy. Like, he has a massive boot on him. Are we going Cleary and Moses, halves, Origin?
I think we have
I
to.
think so.
Well, I think you guys have to.
Oh, I
yeah.
like the we. No, from both of you.
Yeah,
you
you
both.
guys.
I never
Yeah.
said we. I said I think
You
they
guys,
have to.
yeah.
Yeah, Mitch Moses makes this Eels team a lot better than
Mm,
they probably are. But they were pretty competitive last week
Yeah.
against the Sharks. Dolphins all over the show. I feel like the Dolphins should win this.
mm.
And that $2.15 or $2.10 is pretty enticing, but I think it'll be a pretty good game.
Him versus Katoa will be a nice little matchup too. It's almost a bit of master apprentice type of vibes there because Katoa is also very sharp.
What are your thoughts here, Paulie?
Well, I'm just having a look at the two or more tries in the match, and I can see that Josh Adokar is $3.25
There you go.
to score 2 or more tries. The hammer is $4.10. The Fox has scored a try in his last 4 games, and as Surly, I think, just mentioned, a double in his last 2 games. He's been on absolute fire. And to be fair, the hammer hasn't been that far away either. The hammer has scored 7 tries in his last 5 games, a double last time out.
Did you listen to what I said when I kicked off this game?
Yeah, I'm just going over it again.
He's just reiterating. And in fact, you could add another layer on and say every game Moses has played this year, the Fox has scored a double.
Double. There we go.
Nice.
Stack him up with stats without Teddy.
So you Stat chat. You haven't actually
Didn't
told
we
us-
used to have that?
Stat chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. You haven't actually told us what you think of this game. You just repeated what I said.
And me. You repeated
And
what we both said.
I think because
Don't say because Moses' kicking game is so good they're going to win. Don't you dare.
I think the Eels win because they have, on average, a better. They start from they push the opposition back further on the back of Moses' kicking game.
Very good.
We mentioned Moses' kicking game.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right, can we move on?
Eel. Okay.
Did I say that to begin with?
Because Moses can kick.
Well, amongst other things.
That's rattled me. I've chucked an extra game in this week.
Oh, shit. Right.
This is all time. Bunnies $3.75, Broncos $1.28. The line is 10.5 here. The total's 49.5. As I said earlier, Latrell's back and Humphrey's back for the Bunnies. Is anyone else intrigued by this 10.5 line?
Yes.
For the Bunnies.
Yes, I am. The Rabbitohs have won 4 of their last 5 against the Bronx at a core. Broncos have only won 2 of their last 9 at a core, like I said before. And they are a roller coaster. So I think you're crazy if you're confident backing the Broncos at the moment. So a 10.5 line with stats like that, and the fact that Wayne Bennett would have been furious with his side last week. This is 2 angry coaches going into a big game. It'll be an interesting watch, and 10.5 is a big head start.
I'm going to go to you now, Paul.
Right. You haven't said anything, so what am I going to say?
Exactly.
Obviously, a couple of big ins.
Oh, wow.
No, last week, why did Payne Haas have a rest? Was he just having a rest? He wasn't injured, was he? Because he came back on, but he had more time off the field than he usually does, and I don't know if it was just because they thought the game was gone and let's just save him for next week. But I expect him to step up and have a bigger game. And when he has a big game, the Broncos usually do fairly well. But Wayne Bennett teams, he'll be very, very angry with this team. And I think they'll be a lot better than they were last time out. So there we go. What was this line again? 10.5? That's a crazy line, isn't it, Carl?
Oh, you're good, Paulie. You're good.
Yeah, I'm going to take the line. Plus, I'm going to go. I said it before. Rabbitohs head to head. I think Broncos, as Sealy said, they're in all sorts. They're up and down. I think last week would hurt. Latrell back's big. Humphrey's back big. They've got points in them, those two. And they'll get those bunnies around the park. Next one, top of the table clash. Raiders $1.78. Teddy's Bulldogs $2.05. The line's 2.5 in favour of the Raiders. The total 45.5. Raiders are 1-17, I think, for the third straight week. Jacob Preston gone for 4 weeks for the Dogs. And
That was rough.
you could say that was rough.
Oh, yeah, there he is. Anything to add to that, Paulie? But I thought he was going to get off, eh?
Yeah. He did not, though. Can confirm he did not.
Can confirm did not, yeah.
Breaking news. Burden's back, though. This will be a good game. This will be a very good game. The Raiders, I think most of us had the Raiders bottom of the table, close to bottom of the table at the start of the season. They've proved that they are not one-trick ponies after Vegas. They've had some pretty good wins this year. They consistently score points, and they do it in a fashion that's quite exciting. Ricky Stewart's got them up and about, got them believing.
Yeah, he does. Stats suggest that they're on here as well. So they've won 9 of their last 10 against the Dogs, and the Dogs haven't won in Canberra since 2015. There's some good try-scoring stats as well. Huddy Youngie scored 6 tries in his last 4 at home, and Crichton scored 9 tries in his last 7 games against the Raiders. So could be a good one for a same-game multi there with some try-scorers. I'm really excited for this game. I think this is the Dogs' biggest test by a country mile so far. You mentioned Burden's back. They're struggling a bit in the second row, though. No Preston, no Curran, no Tupanua. So it's going to be interesting to see how that forward pack handles a big, angry Canberra forward pack. Like, that's their strength. And the main criticism of the Dogs is that they're a bit undersized through the middle, and losing Curran and the likes certainly hurts that as well.
Paul, if the Raiders win,
Yep,
they would have knocked off the other 3 teams in the top 4. Does that make them the best team in the comp?
no, but it makes them a very, very good team. And their form this season at GIO has been sensational. 3 games, 3 wins. They just, I don't know. I think it's something slightly to do with the fact that Canberra is a shit place to go to. Well, come on. Who goes to Canberra for a holiday? No. You don't say, you don't hear Kiwis going, oh, yeah, off to Canberra for a holiday, bro. No, it doesn't happen. So it's a horrible place to go for a traveling team. The Raiders use that to their advantage, and they are playing very, very well. So, yeah, I think, look, they can. There's a tendency for some teams to, after coming off a very, very big win, and that was a big win last weekend against the Storm. I don't see that with this Raiders team. I think Sticky will keep them on the straight and narrow back home against a Bulldogs team who have a few missing pieces, even though they've got some coming back. I think they'll just be out of sorts slightly. And I like the Raiders. There we go.
Nice work. Good to hear a personal opinion. Nice, well done.
Thanks for sending that through, Teddy.
Dragons $2.15. The Warriors $1.70. As I said, the odds flip, unless the bookies got it wrong. But yesterday the Warriors were $2.15. The Dragons were $1.70.
Were they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless I wrote it down wrong.
Yeah, I don't remember that, but yeah, I'll double check. But I thought they've just come in slightly. I thought the Dragons were about 220 yesterday, and now they're into about 215.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'll double check that.
We don't have to check it. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll run with Carl's narrative. Yeah.
The line's 2.5. The total is 46.5. DWZ back for the Warriors. Huge in.
It couldn't be
Bigger one for me, though. RTS on the extended bench. Surely Surly. He comes straight in. Pompey to the centres. Capewell to the back row. and all is happy in the back line.
There's a chance. It's a hammy, so they want to be 100% sure that he's good to go. And obviously we're tracking well without him, but geez, this would be the week to get him back too when we've lost outside backs, haven't we? He gives us that centre cover too, which means you don't have to carry another back on the bench, and then Healy can stay in the 14, which I was really impressed with him last week on debut. So yeah, great to have Dell back. Great to have Roger named on an extended. If it's not this week, then it's next week. And I think Fisher's next week as well. So the cattle is on the way back. But yeah, it would be nice to have Rog there just for the experience both of them bring too. Like they're both 200 plus gamers. So yeah, it'll be good to get some of the big boppers back in the mix.
I haven't actually looked, but I presume Dell's straight back to the right
Yeah.
and Tane moves to the left.
Yeah, I think he's paying $1.75 straight back into the favourite for this game, old Air Dallin, because we know he's an unreal try scorer. And again, saw him yesterday, the grin on the bloke's face. Like he's been battling. It's been a long time rehabbing. When you go down in the first couple minutes of the first preseason game, it's a real struggle, and he can't wait to be back on the paddock. So yeah, that's one happy man.
My one hope for this game, Paul.
Yep.
The past 2 seasons, we have relied so heavily on pushing our right to the attack to feed Dow and for him to score in the corner. So far this season, I think Tane's scored 1 try. The attack hasn't really gone down the left. Down the right, sorry. I really, really hope we do not change the game plan just to get Dow a try. Or utilize his experience on the wing that way. I think it's got to come naturally. We cannot force it, because that will be. I think we saw that last year.
Yeah,
we tried to recreate everything in 2023. It didn't work, and our attack was clunky. I really hope.
I think
no clunky.
I think as well, like with our halves, Luke and CHT, neither of them are really like a dominant half. They can both play on both sides. So I think we should be a whole lot more balanced, right? Like last year, it was run through SJ predominantly. So I think this year, and Lukey can pop up, and you see them popping up next to each other all the time. Yeah. And I think we saw in those preseason games when Dal was out there, like we were scoring tries on both sides, and Tane could be some juicy value now he's switched to that other sting.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. Your thoughts, Paul?
Well, love this game. Look, I was impressed by Sam Healy coming on last week. He did a mighty job. Certainly defensively. He almost created a try out of nothing.
Imagine if that deserved to be a try.
Just a wee bit too much weight on that final sort of grubber. But defensively, he was huge. So he adds another sort of dimension to that bench. They've got the 3 big boppers around him on the bench, and I think it's a nice little balance that they've struck there. It's RTS in the reserves that does create that little bit of uncertainty, and it wouldn't surprise me to see him in the starting lineup, as you said.
Thank you.
Fair dinkum. Which means that Kurt Capel can then go back into the forward pack. The other one I want to mention is Aaron Clark, who's been just every single game. You can mark him down for, 120 plus meters, 35 plus tackles. He just is a tireless worker.
So good.
And just tidies up so many things so that the other guys can show us the skills that they have. So, yeah, I know we've had recent history at the Gong hasn't been the worst. It's just that long history there that just weighs heavily on my mind. I still think the Waz can do it. And as long as they can tighten up that right-hand defence, that'll go a long way towards winning this game. It'll be the defence that gets them through.
Just on Healy, he actually thought that it was given a no try because he thought Pompey must have ruined it. He thought his play was elite, and he was like, no way, Wets has ruined this for us. And then when he saw the ball hit the line, he was like, oh, you're kidding me, because he thought he'd pulled off one of the great try assists on debut, and he was ready to spray Wets for potentially dropping the ball, he thought.
I must shout out, and this, by the time the podcast comes out, on radio, Sport Nation, whatever, this has got nothing to do. No one will have any relevance to this, but there is a dog race 1 at Invercargill about to go.
Crikey.
The favourite is Mayfield Warrior.
Okay, I'm jumping on.
260 into 235 in the 8 box. We'll report back on that in a minute.
I can tell you in the 2 box is Mayfield Turbo. So if Turbo gets up, then back Manly this weekend.
Yeah, and are they in white and maroon hoops, or is that white and black hoops, Mayfield Turbo? White and black.
White and black, two box.
Okay, well.
That's a great segue into the Seagulls, $1.68 versus the Sharks, $2.20. Actually, before we did it, we didn't really talk about the game for the Warriors, did we? We kind of just talked about the Warriors players.
Bring back Teddy. Yeah, we're all over the place.
Poor record at the stadium against the Dragons. As you said, Surly, we've lost 11 of the last 13, or 11 of 13 total there. But we have won 2 of the last 3. The Dragons stink. Their halves pairing stinks.
Go the Warrior.
Just wins.
Yep.
I reckon last week that game against the Tigers, the Dog's going to win, by the way.
Yeah, I'm watching it live as well. Don't you worry.
Shout out to all the listeners.
Got to collect.
That game against the Tigers last week will have hurt them mentally. I feel like they probably could have won that, should have won that. As I said, both teams were trying to lose it in the last 20, 25 minutes. I don't know. I don't see us having too much trouble getting past the Dragons this week.
Any one of the Wars players going to whisper in Jaden Sewer's ear? Got any got gloves on this week, bro? What's up?
It was an impressive nudge, wasn't it? And like you said, Mayfield Warrior just got up, so that's a massive omen for me.
There we go.
You guys got any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, the Wars win.
Yeah, it is a potential banana skin, I think, just off the back of the record there. But you trust this team enough, and a lot of these boys, like your Aaron Clarks and that, they don't have that history with this team in Wollongong. You know, it's a fresh start. So I back us to get the job done. It is a game in years gone by that we've dropped when we've gone in expecting to win. So I'm sure Webby will have the lads on high alert, ready to go.
Halasima will get more minutes now. Like 2 weeks ago, I think he only got 35 or 40 minutes. Last week, he obviously played the whole match, probably, I'm guessing, due to the injuries and the reshuffle.
Yeah.
But he's an asset when he's out on that field.
Yeah.
He's got to be in line for 50, 60 minutes.
I think 50, 55 is the sweet spot, right? We see Jacob Laban back on the bench this week, recovered from concussion. So we're carrying a second rower there on the bench. So you'd have to think that he would come on for Lecker at some stage. But yeah, I think that 50 to 60 minutes, like you mentioned, is probably the sweet spot for him. And he was fatigued, but he put in some massive shots down the back end. There was that one catch where he dropped it and we had to do another 7-tackle set, which I was a little bit off towards the end of the game there, but then he made up for it with some big hits. He's a talent, man, and it's crazy. Talking to fans now, you say, who's your favourite Warriors player? And 90% of them now say Leka Halasima, which is pretty cool, right? A 19-year-old lad. The world's at his feet.
And the hair dye too. Love that.
Yeah, the old blonde bullet, McInnes called him, which I didn't mind.
We get your hair dyed.
While I still got some. No. Yeah. What I'm going to do is, I want to go back to RTS. So if RTS comes on.
Who drops out?
Yeah, does Niokore go to prop and Ford jumps back to the bench? Yep. Or is that how it works? You think it would work if RTS starts?
That would make the most sense. But then all of a sudden you've got a lot of bigs on the bench if you're getting rid of Laban. I guess Healy can play that lock second row role if needed. But yeah, there would have to be a couple little shifts there in that rotation. One to watch as well, Eddie Idamaya Toiava, a young boy coming through, can play centre, second row, wing. He is a jack of all trades. And, you know, if these injuries keep happening in the centres, he could be one to come in, because a lot of people are calling for Moala Graham Talfa, guys like that to come in. But because it's before round 11 this game, you have to be in the top 30 to play. So he's outside of our top 30, and up until round 11, which is next week, you can't bring in anyone outside of it. So Morgan Harper is literally the only outside back at New South Wales Cup that would be eligible to come up and play for us at the moment.
It's a fun little fact that I didn't know.
Mm.
All right, just quickly, Sea Eagles $1.68, Sharks $2.20. The line is 2.5. The total is 49.5. We all think Manly will get done. Why?
Did we?
Yeah,
Didn't we all pick Manly?
we all said Manly, Paulie. That's how convinced you are of it. I rattled off some stats that suggest very strongly for the Sharks, but we all went Manly.
I thought we all said that Manly are going to get done. Is that what you just said?
Get it
No,
done.
get done.
Oh, I'm with you now.
Jeepers, we need to wrap this thing up.
Yeah, we do. Manly suck against the Sharks at home, but we've all backed them, so watch them lose.
Yeah. You got anything to add?
KL Iro. He'll score a try.
Nice.
Oh, no, we need to wrap this up. All right, let's go to betting. $150. You've got a best bet, a best try scorer, a same game multi, and anything else. Surly, kick us off with your punting nous, please.
Okay, here we go. $50 best bet of the week. I've gone Raiders into Warriors, both head to head as a multi to get the dub. A little bit leery, but I'm chasing some odds after not putting some bets through over the last couple of weeks. Then for my $50 best try scorer, Josh Adokar, $3.25 for a double. I'm backing him in for 2 or more in this game. My same game multi, 25. I'm going Val, Dal, Lecker, $19.74. And yes, I just went Val and Dal because it rhymes and I thought it sounded cool. And then my last $25, I am chucking on 3 try scorers, Josh Adokar, Fletcher Sharp for the Knights against the Titans, and Hudson Young against the Dogs. That is paying $11.09.
Wow, way.
Go
What do you got, Paul?
Val bet. Go the Val bet.
Down.
My best bet, Parramatta Eels. Let's start the week off with a win Thursday night. Parramatta Eels to win at around, what is it, $1.70 odd. My try scorer, KL Iro, to score a try in the final game of the round. My same game multi, Waz to win, Pompey to score a try, Valentine Holmes to score a try. It's paying $12.36.
Oh.
And my anything bet, here we go. It's those little round specials. Try scorer bingo.
He loves it, eh?
You love it. I'm going to go with the Sunday games this time. It's only paying $2.50. All jerseys from 1 to 7 to score a try across the Sunday games at $2.50.
Okay. My turn. Bunnies plus 10.5. My best bet. The Fox at $1.70 to score a try. My best try scorer bet. My same game multi, I'm looking to the Storm Tigers. And we're just going to go 3 try scorers for the Storm here. Ryan Pappenhausen, Ali Couture, and Grant Anderson. It comes out at $7.58. And then my anything else bet, which I am doing on the fly. I don't want to steal Surly's bet. I do quite like that Raiders and the Warriors, though. I'm just going to take the Bunnies head-to-head, $3.75. 25 on.
Big bunnies, man. What noise would a bunny make?
Let's wrap this up.
Wow.
This is not going well.
This is eating a carrot.
Wow.
Okay. Is that what that was? Yeah, right.
That was
Is that how you guys were talking outside kittens last
No,
week?
Yeah.
Creepers.
This is a PG
Let's
show.
move on.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Surly, thank you very much for joining us.
No worries.
Paul, good to have you back. To the punters, I apologise. Not our best effort. But we'll be back next week stronger. Better than ever.
Well, will we? I don't know.
Teddy will be back. He might have some stats too.
Thank goodness.
Good luck. Good punting. We'll see you next week on The Advantage Line.